We have some breaking news here on Dallas Mavericks Today. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Barring a last-minute change in thought, the Mavericks are planning to hire Jason Kidd as their next head coach, plus Nico Harrison into the front office in what appears to be replacing Donnie Nelson as the president of basketball operations. We'll talk about him a little bit more later on, but let's focus on Jay Kidd. Tim MacMahon had this, and of course Mark Stein and Adrian Wojnarowski have been all over it as well. Mavs are progressing in talks to make Jason Kidd the franchise's new head coach. Sources tell Woj and me. Mavericks owner Mark Cuban is also close to hiring a new head of basketball operations. Looks like Nico Harrison, who has signed off on the Jason Kidd candidacy. So let's talk about Jay Kidd, because obviously he's a former player of the Mavs. He's a coach candidate we mentioned that could be a possibility, and it looks like that's where we're heading here, again, barring a last-minute change of heart or fallout in contract negotiations. Spent 8 seasons in Dallas as a player, obviously, over 2 different stints, was a critical piece of the 2011 title team, obviously. Dirk Nowitzki apparently has had major influence on bringing Kidd back to Dallas, as he's back in the circle of trust with Mark Cuban, and so has Michael Finley. So 2 of the guys Mark Cuban trusts quite a bit have apparently signed off on Jason Kidd, and hey, he's been a little up and down as a head coach. We'll outline that a little bit more in a second as well. But obviously, Jay Kidd is beloved in Dallas. We all know that. I love Jason Kidd. I know you MFFLs love him as well. 8 years with the Mavs over 2 stints. Was one of the better point guards of his generation, a Hall of Fame player, obviously. 4-time All-Star in Dallas, 2011 NBA champion. He is, I won't say a legend in Dallas, but he's beloved. There's no doubt about that. Now, his coaching career, it's been up and down. I won't say it's been bad, but it leaves something to be desired. He spent 1 year as the Nets head coach, left for the Bucks head coaching gig, and did some okay things, but ultimately got fired, and has rebuilt his image with the Lakers. LeBron was big on bringing him as an assistant under Frank Vogel. He likes him quite a bit. I think that's probably helped him get this job as well, but I'd be lying if I wasn't at least a bit hesitant on how I feel about this hire, just because as a head coach, it's kind of a mixed bag of results, right? With Brooklyn, he was fine, ended up taking the Milwaukee job, and never got out of the first round. So, and that was a team that had Giannis. Did Giannis get better, and was he still developing? Yes, but they hired Mike Budenholzer, and instantly they won the Eastern Conference regular season like 2 or 3 years in a row, and they're in the Eastern Conference Finals this year. So, was it a timing thing? I know Giannis really liked Jason Kidd, but he hasn't been great as a head coach. We have to at least acknowledge that. Every situation's different. Obviously, I'm rooting for Jay Kidd in Dallas. One-word reaction to the Jason Kidd hire. Let's hear it down in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about Jason Kidd being the next head coach with your Dallas Mavericks. My one word, conflicted. I thought Jason Kidd was going to get another opportunity to be a head coach. I thought he was worthy of it. Maybe it was the classic, he became a head coach too soon, right? Like, he went from being a player to a coach like that. And that's a big, learning curve, I think he's probably learned a lot from his first couple of stints as a head coach in the NBA, but I am conflicted. I can't just sit here and be like, man, I feel like this is a home run hire. He's going to be here for the next 20 years. Like, I don't know. I think we have to see how this thing plays out over the next several years, obviously, with Dallas and especially with Luka Doncic. Now, Rick Carlisle, who exited and got the Pacers job earlier today, which we broke down for you guys here on Dallas Mavericks Today, he did sign off on the Jason Kidd hire. If anything, he encouraged it. He said, quote, "My hope is that Jason Kidd will become the next coach of the Mavs because he and Luka have so many things in common as players. I just think that it would be a great situation for Luka, and I think it would be an amazing situation for Jason. I'm the only person on the planet that's coached both of those guys and that knows about all of their special qualities as basketball players. To me, that would be a great marriage, but that's just an opinion." Here's what it comes down to, guys. Jason Kidd must work in Dallas, or Luka is probably gone. I would dare say 95% he's gone if 3 years from now we're looking up and it's like the Mavs have gone to the playoffs twice, missed the playoffs once, and haven't won a playoff series. Like, Kidd has to work. It's as simple as that, because Luka Doncic isn't going to wait around. I don't think he'll be Dirk-level loyal if this team isn't winning playoff series. That's not to say Luka won't be loyal. That's not to say that he doesn't love playing in Dallas. I'm saying it is so rare, it's basically never happened what we saw Dirk do in this city. Like, they came up short so many times in the playoffs, and he stood by this franchise and signed for less money with hopes of winning a title, which he ultimately did with Jason Kidd, which is why I think Dirk has had major influence in this hire. But Luka wants to win, and he wants to win now. You don't think he's watching Trae Young in the conference finals saying, that should be me. I'm supposed to be there right now, not Trae Young. Like, he wants to win. Jason Kidd's got to help him get there if Luka is going to stay in Dallas long term. Grade the hiring of Jason Kidd, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'll give it a C+. Like I said, I'm conflicted. On paper, is it the hire I would have made? Probably not. Now, I'm not having those conversations. I'm not in the circle of trust. But based on his resume, it's a mixed bag. It's a C+, but it has a chance to be an A. I think maybe this is the perfect fit for him because he's loved in Dallas and because he has a generational point guard, which is the position he played with Luka Doncic. This is why you subscribe to Dallas Mavericks Today. 2 videos, 1 day. We've been bringing you videos almost every single day. We bring you all the latest Mavericks news, rumors, breaking news as it happens, of course. Hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/MavsTV. Hey, this offseason is just beginning for the Mavs, and dare I say, it's the most important offseason since probably the summer after the Mavs won the title, and that one didn't go that well. Hopefully this one does better. We'll cover it all here on Dallas Mavericks Today. I'll talk more now about the Nico Harrison move. By the way, Adrian Wojnarowski misspelled his name, put a K as first name, later corrected it. But progressing on deals for Nike's Nico Harrison, yes, Nike, to lead basketball ops and Jason Kidd to become head coach, sources tell Tim MacMahon and me. So who is Nico Harrison? So he has worked with Nike for a long time on the basketball side of things, getting marketing relationships with players. He was Kobe's Nike guy when Kobe was playing back in the day. And this has been a guy that I've looked into this the last hour or so, because I'm not going to lie, when I saw this name at first, I was like, Nico Harrison, that sounds familiar, but who exactly is he? He is well respected in the NBA. Let's make that very, very clear. Now, the Mavs want to keep Michael Finley and have him and Nico Harrison work as a tandem. Now, it sounds like Harrison's going to get the title of President of Basketball Operations. Again, as we're filming, not 100% finalized, but I'd say it's 97%. We're definitely more than trending in that direction. But look at a guy like Jared Dudley, who is well respected in the NBA, saying, many teams have tried to get Nico. If Dallas could land him, that's a big play. CJ McCollum tweeted congrats to him earlier as well. Brian Damaris, former director of basketball player development with the Mavs, who also does a podcast for the around the Mavs now, said this: Nico was at Dirk's final home game, been around the game for a long time. Kobe's guy at Nike, like I said, he's a stud. This is a great move. Podcast to come. Also, Jeff Skin Wade, who you guys see on the TV broadcast, says he's been seeing him for years at the AAC in the hallways, chatting it up with Cuban and the boys. So this is a guy that Cuban trusts and that players in this league respect and really think highly of. Now, is Nico Harrison a guy that knows X's and O's of basketball? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know his complete background there. But if he's well connected with current players, what have the Mavs struggled in the last 15 years? Reeling name players to Dallas. Let's just call it what it is. All the good players they've ever had, they've either drafted or traded for. Luka, Dirk, drafts. Let's see. They tried to trade for Rondo. That obviously didn't work out. Kristaps traded for J. Kidd. Like, they've never been able to sign the big name guys. Now, maybe this guy who Kobe was buddies with, Luka likes, by the way. I probably should have mentioned that sooner. A lot of players in the league are tweeting at him. Congrats. Hey, Nico Harrison's a smart guy that players really, really respect. If he can work with Finley, who obviously knows the game more, played for a long time, has been in this front office for a while, and Finley focuses more on the X's and O's, while Harrison is like the relationship guy, like, hey, I can get a meeting with this guy. We can get that guy. I think this could be crazy enough to work. Now, could it also be, holy crap, we wake up in 18 months and this guy just doesn't know basketball? Maybe. Like, I don't know. I think it's a wild card. I don't love the feeling that this is the Mark Cuban boys club, but hey, you got to get on board, right? You got to talk yourself into this because I just can't watch the Mavericks lose in the first round of the playoffs anymore. So do you like the hire of Nico Harrison? Type Y for yes, type N for no, type R for really, who cares? Let's just win some games. I don't know. I'll type my wife for yes. Let me know how you guys feel on this one. Now, Tim MacMahon added this as well. Mavs VP of Basketball Ops, Michael Finley, is expected to remain with the franchise. I am not clear yet on whether Finley will be promoted or remain in his role. Mark Cuban is also close to adding a new executive to the Dallas front office. That, of course, would be Nico Harrison. So, again, not finalized on what the titles will be. But I think Michael Finley should have power and will have power. I do view this as a tandem. That's what's being sourced out there. Like, hey, they want these two guys to work together. Maybe the titles don't really matter here. It's more of just like for the public standing because Jared Dudley mentioned, hey, people have been trying to get Nico Harrison for a while. Maybe part of luring him into Dallas is, hey, we'll give you the title of President of Basketball Operations. You know how these things go. We'll see how it all plays out, but hey, clock's ticking. Sign Luka to that Supermax, and let's get some players in here, man. Let's get some good Mavericks basketball back because you just cannot afford to not maximize Luka Doncic. That would be a failure of a franchise. That would be a failure of Mark Cuban, and that would ultimately be a failure of Jason Kidd and Nico Harrison and Michael Finley and everybody else who is high up in this franchise if this doesn't work. And at the end of the day, if it works, no one's going to care that we were lukewarm on the Jason Kidd hire. Now, who should call the shots in the front office? Like, who should have final say? Type MF for Michael Finley. Type NH for Nico Harrison. I think in terms of, like, specific personnel decisions, I would probably trust Finley more. But if this Harrison guy is as connected and respected as people say, I've got no problem with him being involved. And, hey, what have we said? Bring an outside voice into the mix. Like, and I'm there for that. I know Cuban's known this guy for a while, but it's at least an external hire in Nico Harrison. So I'm on board. Let's get after it. Let's play some hoops. Who cares that he misspelled Steph Curry's name when he was presenting something to Nike a few years ago before he signed with Under Armour? I don't care that Nico Harrison did that. No impact on how he will do in this position as the Mavs president of basketball operations. So get your votes in on this one. Let me know your thoughts on both hires, and we'll see you soon here on Mavericks Today.